Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, because I don't know how else to intro this, because Summer Game Fest happened yesterday, but Microsoft and Bethesda have to go on Sunday, so it's kind of in the middle of a news cycle.
Psych.
Oh, cycle.
Oh, cycle. Hitting for the cycle.
That did happen this season.
What am I doing? I don't know anymore. Gamers 2 Podcast, your weekly roundup of news and commentary. What do we do here?
What do we do? That is a fair question.
What did I say? Gamers 2 Podcast, your weekly roundup of news and commentary, and anything else that might pique our interest. There we go.
All of those things are true. And also just a fair question to ask anybody. What do we do here?
I ask myself that question every
morning.
Day.
Or whenever I wake up.
I'm just like, what is my purpose on this earth? Does it matter? Do I need a purpose? Why are we so entitled to think that we should have a purpose?
All right, and we went from depression to existential questions.
Why have I been so thirsty the past, 2 weeks?
Working out?
No.
Okay, never mind.
Dying.
Both. Both are true at the same time.
Yes. If you're not dying, you might have some video games you could play. Or if you are dying, maybe there's some video games you want to knock out off your list.
That's true.
Your bucket list. I don't know. We got new games?
I do have a list of some.
Okay. All right.
Number one, speaking of it, from earlier that nobody else listened to, so that tangent segue is useless.
Yeah.
The Elder Scrolls Online High Isle DLC officially out for the PC.
Wanna get high?
You guys want to go to the High Isle? Make sure to bring a towel. Number two, Spellforce 3 Reforced for the PlayStation and Xbox, along with the Soul Harvest DLC, the Fallen God DLC, and of course a complete edition. Number 6, which is technically 3, but I don't care anymore. The Cycle Frontier for the PC.
A lot of cycling happening.
Interesting. You're foreshadowing, I see. Interesting. Number 7, Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2 for the Switch.
A little late.
Number 8, Green Hell VR.
Like the knockoff of the Forest?
Yes, that is that one. Number 9, Mad Shot for the PC. Number 10, Postal Brain Damaged for the PC.
Like Postal as in the Postal games?
Like going postal. The Postal games, where you went postal.
Huh.
Hey. Come here, you goof. This way. Nope. All right, well. You want to be difficult and try to figure it out? Yeah, go for it. Anyway.
Herding cats.
It's literally herding cats. Number 11, Pro Cycling Manager 2022.
More?
Yeah.
More cycling.
You can cycle. With number 12, the Tour de France 2022 for the PC, PlayStation, and Xbox. Have you cycled enough yet?
No, never.
Oh, that's unfortunate because you could have played some soccer. And number 13, Mario Strikers Battle League for the Switch. And number 14, if you wanted to have a teen horror drama, The Quarry for PC, PlayStation, and Xbox.
Another
one.
Another one. Yeah.
Quarry looks interesting, but I look forward more to watching somebody play it or to participating in a couch playing session if Dewey was to host one.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be interesting if they were doing. I doubt they are doing it, but if they did a couch playing mode to where only one person had to own the game.
Yeah.
But
we'll see.
Pie in the sky.
Ooh, I like that. I like pie. 3.14 apple pie.
All right, there it is.
I'm just pulling back Bo lyrics.
Yeah,
that's a very early one.
Odds or evens?
Evens.
Okay, even Steven. Number 1, Activision Blizzard has officially recognized the union set up by QA staff at Call of Duty Warzone studio Raven Software. In a message sent to the publisher's U.S. employees and shared publicly, CEO Bobby Kotick confirmed the company will begin negotiations with the Communications Workers of America. That would be the union in which the newly created Game Workers Alliance has been formed.
All right.
So there you go. It's a union.
It begins.
In one of the big ones.
It begins. I mean, at least they pulled their heads out of their asses prior to not having a choice of pulling their heads out of their asses.
Yeah, I'm wondering if there was some, I mean, I'm assuming there was some behind the doors conversation where Microsoft was like, hey,
you better do this.
Just go along with it because if we're going to anyways.
Yeah. And you're going to make this way harder for everybody if you don't.
Yeah. And you're just going to keep piling on the bad press.
You're already digging a hole that you can't get back out of.
Yeah.
Just stop digging.
Yeah.
It's already deep enough.
Just stop digging and lay down and go to sleep.
Shh, 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 shh. I'm still alive. Shh, 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 shh. Just cover it back over.
Throw the dirt in.
Number 2, Microsoft has detailed its ambitions for the future of Xbox Game Pass by saying it plans to introduce a new function later this year that allows Ultimate Tier subscribers to play selected titles they already own via cloud streaming, even if they are not part of the Game Pass library. Microsoft also teased what it refers to as Project Morecraft, a collection of demos for upcoming games that will be exclusive to Xbox Game Pass members. This news follows Sony's revelation earlier this year that PlayStation Plus Premium, the highest tier of its revamped subscription service, which launches this month, will offer subscribers limited game trials. Microsoft is also launching its Xbox TV app later this month, allowing owners of Samsung's 2022 smart TVs and monitors to play Xbox games without a game console. The app will eventually make its way to other TV brands as well.
I like to think that Microsoft wasn't planning on doing demos, and then they saw Sony was doing it, and they're like, fuck it, we can do that too.
Yeah, it's
no big deal.
I like to picture that same scenario. It's like a 5-minute. Phil picks up a phone in his office that just has engineering. He goes, hey, how long? Give me a day. All right, I got it.
Yeah. Yeah. The red phone. It's the Phil phone. Dials it, you pick it up.
Sirens just start going off in engineering. There's a call coming from Phil. There's a call coming in. Everyone just stops every project they're on and is waiting at like terminal screens or VS Code or whatever of like, what's he gonna ask?
Run the simulations.
And then you just see hands coming away from like smoking keyboards after they've been typing rigorously for 5 hours trying to figure out what he wants. And be like, all right, I think we got it.
The TV app thing is cool. I'm curious to see how that works and like what resolutions and stuff like that it'll come in at.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll.
And like just the nitty gritty.
What's the latency on it? I'm curious.
Yeah.
Does the app help that issue at all? Obviously, I'm sure it always is, as usual, dependent on internet in your area type of thing. But still,
and there is. I'm wondering if there's going to be weirdness with like because I'm assuming the assumption is that it'll make its way to most Android-based smart TVs.
Yeah.
But I know Samsung, they had their like weird, like, what was it called? Tizen? Or they had some weird, like, shell.
Yeah. I don't remember what they were calling it.
Yeah.
But they've also, like, Microsoft and Samsung have a history of being friends.
Mm-hmm.
So, makes sense they're starting with them.
Yeah. Number 3, Activision Blizzard revealed that Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 will launch on October 28th, which includes releasing on Steam. The last title to release on the platform was 2017's Call of Duty World War II. Activision Blizzard also announced that a sequel to its free-to-play title, Call of Duty Warzone, will launch later this year. Wasn't there at one point not going to be a Call of Duty game this year?
Yeah, well, this goes back to what I complained about when they were doing when I said they're doing the Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
They said they were going to go to a 2-year thing.
The biannual.
Because Vanguard had shit itself. So, like, okay, we clearly need to go to a 2-year development cycle and kind of, like, figure it out. And then, to be fair, I didn't believe it at the time anyway.
You never do.
It was one of those where it was like, it was a good lip service thing, but it's Call of Duty.
Yeah, you never do.
It'd be like FIFA going, we're going to take a year off.
Yeah, like, they're like, I mean, it's going to sell no matter what we put out. Like,
yeah.
How do we just not put it out? Like,
and not to mention, they watch Battlefield shit themselves.
Yeah.
So, like, you actually have no competition at all. So, yeah. And it's not like they're trying to make a new one. Now, this is going to sound disingenuous to everybody that's working on Modern Warfare 2 and Infinity Ward and everything, but you have a rough idea of everything that's going to be. Like, you're using a lot of the same like engine components and stuff from Modern Warfare. You're building up a whole new campaign, obviously, and settings and maps and all those things that take a lot of resources, but your translation from 1 to 2 is a lot easier than from 1 to Vanguard was. So
I'm really not enjoying this trend of let's just make everything again, which we'll see more of later on.
So I can defend it to an extent. I can't defend the later one because I've ranted.
I can't fucking defend. How could you defend this one? Because you like this garbage.
I do enjoy this garbage, but these ones are like, as far as, here's the issue, right? Call of Duty since Modern Warfare, the first Modern Warfare in 2008 or whatever it was, 7.
Yeah.
Till now, the Modern Warfares have basically always been the same. The Black Opses have been the same minus the Vietnam one. After that, they went Future, and they were all pretty much the same.
Mm-hmm.
Any of the old ones, OG Black Ops, except for the Dolphin Dive that hasn't like made its way back. But like World War II, Vanguard, those are all kind of playing together, right? So that part, yes. It's a shooter game, it's a soccer game, it's a football game. Like, they're all, linear in that sense. But where this, for me, is a differing of Modern Warfare in 2019 versus Modern Warfare in 06 or 07, whatever it was. They've specifically said it's a reimagining. The story's not the same. The settings aren't the same. They're pulling in multiplayer maps that are like homages or remasters of some of the old ones, but a lot of them are also still just new maps. So it allows them to pull from old content while still having new content. And the campaigns are fresh because they're not just repeats. So that's where I let them slide more than a literal remake of a game that's already been remastered. And it's not even it's a remake, but it's a literal 1-for-1 remake.
It's fundamentally the same problem, though, to where you're not getting like true like innovation and out of the box thinking. You're getting the same shit with like built in a new engine, essentially. Like, they're not going to do anything that's going to be completely groundbreaking. They're just going to do the same shit in a new engine. Whereas if they were like, well, let's do something wacky. And granted, every time they've gone off the rails, it's usually been a garbage game. Like, whenever they've gone completely outside of Call of Duty's normal wheelhouse.
Sure.
It's usually not good.
I guess my thing is, this is me going to, like, this is your Burger King to Burger King 2 move versus like Burger King to an actual like local burger joint that is known for it, where you're not 100%, you're like, yeah, I'm going to get a burger. But what's going to be the fancy twist they're going to give onto it? Where Last of Us is Burger King and Burger King 2. Like, nah, it's still a Whopper.
Mm-hmm.
There's literally nothing different. The building just looks fancier, but the Whopper is still the same.
That's the. I see Call of Duty and Modern Warfare
that's
2
fine.
Being the same exact thing.
That's fine.
Because you're gonna fundamentally, they're going to be the same. The gameplay is going to be similar. Like they'll have like reimagined environments or whatever, new maps or whatever.
But
they'll be like essentially the tool bin. They'll just be like, oh, let's go into the parts room and just start throwing shit in there. Like,
it'll be the tool bin from 2019 Modern Warfare, though, not Modern Warfare 2 beforehand.
But it's the same.
That's fine.
Shit.
I just want to make sure that that's what we're saying, where I can do the same thing for every franchise beforehand. Uncharted 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Like sequels and remakes, throw them all into the same fucking bin.
All right, we're good. As long as we get
do
there.
something new. It's like the Hollywood thing. It's like, oh, we can only do Top Gun Maverick. Like, make a new fucking movie, bro.
Yeah.
Although, granted, I know Maverick's getting good reviews and all that, but like, do something new and interesting. I know it's not safe.
I think the funny thing is that Hollywood, I don't even see. Hollywood is a bad example, or like it's a good example of having those bad things in it.
Mm-hmm.
But what's even worse is cable.
Oh yeah,
cable literally brought back Hawaii Five-0 and all the other shows that our parents like grew up with because they couldn't come up with any ideas because all of us went, we're watching streaming stuff and all your guys' shows suck.
Yeah. Which they're doing it to us now, too.
Yep.
I mean, Star Wars is a good example.
But not on cable, at least.
Yeah.
It's literally just Disney owns it, so they're pumping out shows now.
Yeah, we're getting, like, the nostalgia trip now.
It's not like NBC's like, oh, Blue Bloods, because I can't figure it out.
Yeah.
They're literally bringing back Law & Order.
Did it ever go away?
Apparently it went away. Like, the original one or whatever. Like, SVU was still going on, I guess. But they're bringing back Law & Order because it has Jeffrey Donovan in it. The guy from Burn Notice.
I don't know, man. It's wild. It's wild. It's only going to get worse.
Number 4. And it's only fitting that I have this story. Beginning in the fall of 2024, all portable electronics sold in the European Union will need to use USB Type-C for their charging ports. The goal of the unified standard is to reduce electronic waste by giving buyers the option to purchase goods without chargers and make consumers' lives easier. There is one exception in that laptop manufacturers will have an additional 40 months to comply. Devices would be able to feature alternate ports if the manufacturers so choose, but the charging speed must be the same for any compatible charger. The UK will reportedly not follow the new EU mandate for charging ports, which sounds about right because they're not part of the EU anymore.
Yeah.
Okay, so now do you notice that it happened only twice this time?
What's that?
Before I even go into the story, the font thing. It happened at the beginning of 5 and then in questionable. That's it. In 2 even weirder spots now.
Yeah, I don't know why it does that.
I don't know either. I'll figure it out at some point. Anyway.
I'm kind of curious about that last part of the statement because it's like it makes it sound like
the UK part or
no, not the UK. I'm sorry, the part where they're like they can use an alternative port as long as it is under the same power standards, essentially. So it's like, what does that mean?
I think it's the idea of, and I don't know if this is true or not, but let's tinfoil hat theory that Apple is so up their own ass as they are, that they would, if they had a USB-C port on it, and then they had a, what is it, Thunderbolt now?
Just Lightning.
So they had a Lightning one next to it, they would probably throttle the USB-C port to force sale of Lightning. If this part was not in there,
maybe
they would do that.
Yeah, I guess maybe, but
because they'd want to sell their proprietary shit as they always do.
But it makes it sound like they could keep their Lightning port and just have a Lightning port as long as it has the same capabilities of a Type-C.
That's what that line sounds like, which then I don't understand why you'd have to make the mandate.
Yeah, then it kind of kills the idea of the mandate. I wonder if
unless you're saying just that the mandate is to actually just be all speeds must be equal.
Yeah,
which that's one thing, but that's a different phrasing mandate to me.
Yeah, same. I don't know. I don't really get it. I mean, it doesn't matter anyways because I think the whole idea is that, like in the instance of Apple, they'll just go completely wireless, which is going to be interesting, but
which I don't know if that actually fits with their thing either. I don't know if that's like a weird wanky workaround move or what.
I mean, I think it is, but like there was a stipulation or something like that to where I think it was something along the lines of the EU is like has like they also have like a kind of like preliminary wireless standard as well.
Yeah,
and that they like were saying like we basically are gonna revisit this later and also have requirements for wireless,
which makes sense. If you're gonna do one, you might as well do both. But I'm for it.
Yeah, we've had this conversation.
We've had this conversation, and you were against me, which is par for the course. But I'm for it. Whichever way it had fallen, like whoever was being told to like adapt, whether it was Android having to go to Lightning or whatever the case may being, like there's no reason for us to all be on one. Like, or not to. Sorry, there's no reason for us all not to just be on one. There doesn't need to be 75 different ones. Like, as time moves forward, then we go from the, all right, now we're all on USB-C or Lightning until whatever the next iteration comes out that is actually, double to 1.5 times faster or whatever. Then we sunset immediately the old one and move to just the new one. But don't run 4 in parallel.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be, it'll be interesting to see how that turns out.
Even now, there's on Android, with USB-C, there's the turbocharging and there's not turbocharging. But they both charge your phone, just one's faster. It's like, not stop that shit.
Yeah.
Just give me charging. All of it should be turbo. You shouldn't be slow charging my phone if you have the choice not to.
I'd be curious to know, like, why they went with
C.
Just like port design in general, like it is mind-boggling to me. Like having to deal with it more and looking at like the different iterations of USB and like Lightning and stuff like that. It's like they're all doing literally the same thing, but they all have these like the different form factors of USB. It's like, why? Like, how did this happen? How did you settle on a mini USB? Why this shape? Why this shape for micro? You know what I mean? Like, how did you people settle on these specific shapes? Because they really don't fucking matter. Like, and you pick these weird ass shapes that are like just dumb.
HDMI and DisplayPort?
Yeah. Which I'm pretty sure DisplayPort is just the way it is, because they wanted it to be similar to HDMI, but then not fit in the same thing. So they're like, all right, take HDMI and then cut a side off. Like,
I have adapters that are meant to take both.
Yeah.
Like, you can either plug in HDMI or plug in a DisplayPort. Both will work to the exact same spot.
Yeah. I don't know.
So it's like, why?
Yeah, it is. It's... If I could have, like... I mean, the ideal cable would be the capabilities of USB-C, in my mind, but the form factor of the Lightning port, where it's all like just
because you prefer the inside out instead of the outside in.
Yeah, because I feel like it's more reliable physically. But
and I think the opposite, but that's me.
Well, we're gonna get in this argument.
We're not. I don't want to do this right now.
I mean, would you rather want the cable to break instead of the device?
But for me, in my like history of cables, that's always happened anyway. I've never had my device break. I've had my cable break all the time.
See, I've come across one instance to where I don't know what you'd call it. The little
mail end.
Yes, the inside the USB-C.
Yeah.
Has broken off.
How?
I don't know, bro.
I didn't do it. Your phone or something.
I'm assuming something got stuffed into it, and inadvertently, like putting it in your pocket or something like that. But
mine's always been like, it's never been the end of the cable. It's always been right before the end of the cable, like where the adapter starts to actually, like, the cords go in and start to be.
Yeah, there's supposed to be like a stress relief there.
Yeah, and every time that ends up fraying and separating, and it's like, all right, well, this is seconds away from this just separating and me having a cord with the adapter still stuck in my phone.
Yeah. Oh well, we'll see how it turns out.
I mean, hey, it's a European thing. We're not gonna have to worry about it because America and our issues.
Yeah.
We have bigger issues than phone adapters.
I mean, I do think whatever they end up, Apple ends up implementing in the EU for this, they'll implement in the US as well. So, which they're the only ones that are different. Everyone else is already on USB-C that I know of. I don't know if there's another one.
No, but it's the speed thing with C again.
Oh.
That's the part where they're saying everything has to be at the same speed. Well, now that gets weird with like having turbocharging and not having it.
Oh yeah. That's like a Qualcomm thing, I think, more than anything else.
Fine, but that still means that those guys that are using all the Qualcomm processors and everything would still get, have to fall in line.
I'm sure we will talk of it again at some point.
When we both move to Europe.
Number 5. Keywords Studios has entered an agreement to acquire game studio Forgotten Empires. Forgotten Empires specializes in strategy titles, namely the continued development of Microsoft's RTS series, Age of Empires.
Funny. I don't know why. Just
Forgotten
so funny
Empires?
that exactly
Yeah.
that they make Age of Empires. I don't know. Just something about that just makes me go hee hee.
Speaking of Keyword Studios, staff working on BioWare projects have voted in favor of unionization. The company said quote, Keyword Studios accept the vote of the 16 Edmonton staff who have chosen to unionize. We value our people and will continue to constantly strive to be a good employer. As an organization, we want to ensure an engaging experience for all of our employees, and we take any concerns that our staff have seriously. We will continue to have an ongoing dialogue with all individuals in the Edmonton team as we move forward together, always learning and improving, end quote.
I mean, I know they're not throwing shade, but there's just a fun part where they say, we constantly strive to be a good employer.
I like this part. Where was it here? We will continue to have an ongoing dialogue with all individuals in the Edmonton team. Individuals. That's very much like we'd much rather not have to deal with the union. We'd rather deal with everyone one-on-one.
Yeah. We'd all deal with you
Don't
guys.
tell them how much money you make.
Hey. No, you don't need to. Don't talk to them. Don't. Stop that.
I mean, it's good. More is good.
More is better. Number 6, a co-op survival crafting sandbox is coming to Middle-earth. And we are returning. The Lord of the Rings Return to Moria is a multiplayer survival game set in the 4th age of J.R.R. Tolkien's Middle-earth. I don't know. Why did it never go by J.R. Squared? You know what I mean? Where players will team up with their fellow dwarves and carve out a new empire under the mountains. The realm of Moria is procedural to ensure no two adventures will be alike. And co-op will support up to 8 players, though the publisher notes it is also playable solo. The Lord of the Rings Return to Moria is coming exclusively to the Epic Game Store in 2023. And Matt and I can't wait to be dwarves.
I would love to be a dwarf.
In-game.
Well, kind of one in real life. I mean, I'm short. I have hairy feet.
I mean, I have hairy feet. I'm taller than you, but something about just, I'm going to go retreat into the mountains.
Yeah, I'd love to retreat into the mountains and just drink beer and use my beard as a napkin.
Make swords every now and then.
Yeah.
Big old forge things.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yep. Number 7, famous leaker Tom Henderson has leaked what looks to be the next game from Kojima Productions, and Kojima's response seems to lend credibility to that. According to Kotaku, Kojima Productions requested that Henderson take down the information, which he declined. Henderson said that the request came with an offer to work with him when they can share more, presumably once the game is ready to be officially announced. Henderson reports goes on to highlight details of the leaked footage he received from the game that apparently features Death Stranding's Margaret Qualley. Henderson describes Qualley, who played Mama. I guess that's a character in Death Stranding. Do you remember? Do you know who this person is? Mama?
I don't think I played that long.
Okay. In Death Stranding, which where was I? Running through a dark alley with a flashlight. There's a jump scare, then the screen cuts to text that says "Game Over." Henderson later tweeted that that his interaction with Kojima Production wasn't antagonistic, and that they were very understanding, all things considered. Interesting. So I'm wondering if that's the sequel. I mean, you would assume that is the sequel or prequel, I guess, maybe. I don't know. Didn't play Death Stranding, don't know how that game turns out.
Right. So same. Because I only played for 3 hours or so.
Yeah.
And walking just pissed me off. But, all right.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see what cluster this is going to be.
I'm sure people will love it and hate it. And love it.
Well, people are going to jerk it off all over.
Oh, yeah. Kojima.
Yeah. As we must.
Force of nature.
Number 9. 8. More leaks. Have we talked about the Division Heartlands game modes? I don't think so. We speculated. I said what I wanted. Let's see if they came through.
All right.
The first mode, called Excursion, is strictly PvE and aimed at easing new players into the game. Predictably... Oh, wow. What was that?
Bubble in the throat.
Predictably, the goal is to scavenge loot, fight enemy AI, and eventually extract out of the hot zone via a helicopter. All right, I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good.
Sounds like the Division.
The second mode, called Storm, adds PvP into the mix. According to Tom Henderson, the one and only, their twist on the Battle Royale concept is the poisonous gas can expand from random points across the whole map, which should make gameplay more dynamic. Which sounds like the nuke mode from, I think it was Modern Warfare.
All right.
The third mode is called Nightfall, described as an objective-based PvE mode. It will require players to complete objectives before extracting on foot instead of via helicopter. The extraction also cannot happen before sunrise, forcing players to deal with NPC enemies called vultures at nighttime. The fourth mode, called Hunt, will reportedly be focused strictly on PvP. So I believe the second one being Storm is PvPvE.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, what's that one that does that? Is it Escape from Tarkov? Is that the one? Or is it...
Yeah, Tarkov's PvPvE.
Well,
you can end up in a room with other players, but then you're still fighting enemies that are around.
And you're still, like, have loot objectives.
Yeah.
And...
Sounds like I'm getting everything I want, and I literally don't care about the hunt. So, perfect.
Yeah, I'm pleasantly surprised to see that there is such a PvE focus, so that's good. I was worried that they were just going to, you know...
They need to, like, focus on PvE, I think.
Oh, I agree.
I think PvP is a nice, like, hey, we can do it, and hey, having it, like, show up in certain things is fun,
Yeah.
but I think PvE is your bread and butter. Do that.
I agree. I think that was the attractive part of the Division. So.
Yeah. And again, give me the Division.
Yeah.
It's... Oh, do I say this? And it's not controversial. It is my favorite third-person shooter ever. I can't name another one that I actually enjoy.
I just wish, like...
Sorry, I can. Sniper Elite.
That's a good one.
Thought about it for more than 5 seconds. Found an answer.
Well, no, I get what you're saying. Like, I really enjoyed the Division as well, like, a lot. But it just didn't, like... For me, it didn't have the staying power that I was hoping it would have. But that seems to be a common theme across, like, all games right now.
One had the staying power for me. Because it was very clear on, like, hey, hop in, knock out these weeklies. Like, they put a schedule or like a content goal schedule each week out that made sense. Hey, raids reset every week. Hey, get in, do 2 hard mode missions a day and do 1 challenging mission. That could take you 30 minutes. Knock out everything. You just do public matchmaking. And then, hey, okay, cool. You've knocked it out for that day. Here's your rewards. And your work. That just all builds towards, like, working toward the weekly goal.
Yeah. I think
but then when Division 2 dropped, at the end of the game, they went, do it all again 8 times, and we're not going to tell you what to do at all. There's no goals. Just, and I was like, I can't.
So, like, going to our conversation that we had, like, with Dewey, like,
and raiding and stuff like that. I mean, I feel like that's what the Division was lacking, and the Division 2 to a certain extent as well, was like any sort of like cohesive end game to where like, you know, you could go in with your friends and just kind of bash your head against something.
They were Division 1, I think, was still the best example. D2, I still think, missed the mark. I think if they take D1, D1 just was so close where they had those goals that you had a daily goal and you had a weekly thing. The only thing they needed to do was actually build out like a 4 to 8 person scaling team raid.
Mm-hmm.
Like more than what their bullet sponge raid thing was, where they're like, oh, you know,
with like genuine mechanics.
And stuff like actually give me something, and you were right there because you gave me the way to farm gear. You had that whole thing of like, hey, this is how you farm gear. Hey, you can do this, Perfect. All right, what do I go use the gear in? You just use it to farm more gear, and it's like, no.
Yeah.
Give me the raid, and like I would have loved to help them with that, and
then they were like, oh well, there's the Dark Zone.
I was like, yeah, so what? I don't give a shit about that.
Yeah,
I don't give a shit about the underground either, which is another section of it. And the raids just were they were decent, but they were so bullet spongy that
they were just their normal.
Jacked up to 11.
Yeah, they were like their normal missions, or like they had something that wasn't.
Well, the tank thing was interesting because it was the actual like raid where you were supposed to like get to him, you know, shoot him down enough and then get to him and blow up a charge and then do it like 3 more times or whatever. But then when people started building the crazy like support kits to juice up somebody with whatever it was, the amount of tech power you needed or something. And like that's a cool way to do it. I like watching those things and cheesing it, but it's the same way that you can watch mythic raids get killed in WoW with 30 boomkins or whatever the joke is. Like, oh, ha, we're all here and we can just do it. But it's like, yeah, obviously that's not how it's intended. So like, don't patch the game around that.
That was
like,
the other thing.
Design the game around.
They needed to like make the classes a little bit more like viable. I feel like as well, but whatever. Anyways. So Gummers. Summer Game Fest happened this week.
Gummers, man.
Gum job. What?
Granny gum jobs? You know, because I got to take out the dentures.
Yeah.
So that's an old joke.
That is an old joke. Summer Games Fest. It happened. We have a recap. We're gonna breeze through it. And we'll stop and talk about anything you want to stop and talk about. All right, so first on our list, we have Aliens Dark Descent, which should be coming in 2023. Looks like a squad-based action game. I don't know. Do you want to comment on it all? What you think of it?
It was definitely an Aliens game.
Yeah, for sure. Aliens game.
And I think when I said Alien at the beginning, everybody was like, nah. And I was like, I'm pretty positive that's an Alien game. And then obviously you see the first fucking thing.
Yeah, I think, we were.
But
it was, I feel like it was pretty obviously Aliens because, like, that was the first thing I said was, like, Aliens, Fire Team.
Oh, yeah, I mean, this is just me throwing shit.
And I was like.
I feel like I said Alien and somebody said no, I don't remember who it was, but I'm just messing with it.
Because it was like, I thought this Fire Team game came out. What is this?
Yeah.
Which is still kind of weird to me.
True. I think this is meant to be more back to
the overplayed,
like the actual, like, well, no, because I think that's more what Fire Team was. I think this is going closer to like what Isolation was, where they're trying to actually tell an alien story, like where you're gonna play an alien story. But I don't know 100% if that's actually true or not.
It kind of looked like
because they set
GTFO a little bit.
Yes, yeah, with like a swarm.
Mm-hmm.
But that again, that was also Fire Team.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, it definitely looked good. So I guess we'll probably just see more of it.
I mean, but be honest, we're steps away from them just coming out and saying like, "Oh, it's just a Fire Team expansion." We all go, "Oh, okay."
Yeah. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, October 28th. Looks like it looks good visually. You could literally, was what I said when the trailer came out before, was like, you could literally tell me it's any Call of Duty and I'd be like, okay. because they all just they're a little cookie cutter at this point as far as the trailers go. Any strong feelings on Call of Duty?
I think it looks really good, but I think that's just true of everything in their new engines, where like they actually look visually good.
Yeah.
It was entertaining to watch them like try to talk about it.
Yeah.
Because it almost felt like they didn't know what to do.
Yeah. I mean, Call of Duty is kind of like the epitome of gaming generally. Like, Call of Duty is just a good barometer for where games are, I feel like. So, like, it's true of any video game right now, but also very much Call of Duty is like, you don't really know if it's any good until people start playing it. And they're like, oh, this game's balanced well, or this game's, like, feels good.
Yeah.
And then, like, or they're just like, oh, it's hot garbage, you know?
Because like I have a bunch of things that when I hear Modern Warfare 2 trigger my PTSD of multiplayer days.
Yeah.
Because there were a lot of bugs and issues with that game. In multiplayer specifically that were like just not fun to play with.
Yeah.
Or well, there were some that were really fun, and there were other ones where it was like, this is just objectively not good, and I can't believe they let this go to live and haven't fixed it type of thing. But when they're showing this, God, I wish I remembered what her name was. But she was really good, both in the weird like, I wanted to say shipping cruiser, but that's not what she was on. Like the loading dock thing where they were doing the like Call of Duty reveal thing that they started the trailer with, where she's like on the shipping crate and takes those 3 steps forward, and I was like, why did she take those 3 steps? What the fuck is that? Yeah. And that was just really weird. But then she was in studio, and she was doing really well, like pretending. But I can't remember whoever was with her from Infinity Ward, just like kept tripping over himself and like how he kind of wanted to talk about it. And it's not like true shade at him, because you know, if it's your first time or maybe it's not his first time, it just the whole thing just didn't seem cohesive. But the visuals they showed were really good. It's fun to see the team back together. Obviously, it's iconic characters of So, Price, and Ghost. Yeah, sure, Gaz is there, and now there's Alejandro, apparently. And I'm just like, yep, all right, whatever. Please don't just randomly kill Ghost with a pistol halfway through the story for absolutely no reason. And also, please put Ghost back in his normal-looking, his old OG mask, not his current one, because I don't like his current one. But that's a me thing. His current one just looks like a Ghost Recon Breakpoint character, where he has the like blast shield that he painted a skull on.
Yeah.
But OG Ghost was wearing like full balaclava, just like a black balaclava that it looked like he had like white painted a skull on, which just looked way cooler.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's also partially because everybody saw him and he was that iconic character. And then a bunch of games went, I like that, and then just ran with it.
Yeah, so they're trying to break the mold again.
Because every time you're dealing with Ghost Recon, the last 2 Ghost Recons, Wildlands and Breakpoint, you're dealing with some South American drug cartel, and you're like, oh, well, they love the Dia de los Muertos, so they're all going to roll skulls on their face. I was like, why? What racist shit is this?
Ghost Recon. All right, Cuphead, the delicious last course, which should be coming out June 30th.
Still amazes me when that game came out and how good its graphics looked then and still do.
Mm-hmm.
Your visual team kills it.
They do. I love the art style is amazing too.
Have you watched the Cuphead show yet?
I have not.
Same exact style.
Is it?
Yeah. Which makes sense.
Should be good. Goat Simulator 3, which should be out this fall. That one had a great trailer because it was like a parody of the Dead Island trailer. That never ended up getting released.
No, I don't even know if it's a parody. It's almost like the exact trailer with goats.
Yeah. It was just fantastic. Just go watch the trailer, and I think they got literally everyone with jumping to 3.
Yeah.
Because everyone's like, there was a 2? But there wasn't. So, there you go. Spoilers. Gotham Knights, October 25th, it should be out. I don't know. Nightwing. That's what you saw. Nightwing.
Yeah, you saw Nightwing. I want to see more of it before it releases. Because I want more like explanation of how it's supposed to play.
Yeah,
is it like an Arkham game, or is it?
that whole statement is kind of a trend for the entire show.
Yes. Yeah. It goes to, I believe it was Mitch Dwyer.
Yeah, Mitch Dwyer.
Yeah. Who had tweeted out, I have a wild new concept. This is paraphrasing. Wild new concept, game trailers that actually show gameplay.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, that'd be great.
What's crazy, too, is a lot of these games, like Gotham Knights, which we haven't seen really a lot of gameplay of, is supposed to be out this fall.
Yeah.
So are they just, like, holding back to the last possible minute? Who knows? Bloober Team showed off Layers of Fears, which was kind of funny because we were, like, spitballing, as we go, and Nate had the fear guess there, where he was like, "Oh, they should just remake Fear."
The only reason I guessed Fear was because it was right as they wrote Fear on the screen.
Yeah. What would be fantastic, though,
is that really a guess if they really write the word?
No, but what would be fantastic, though, is if they came out and said, like, "Oh, this is a part of that franchise," which would be hilarious. But
that would be absolutely hysterical. But I'm pretty sure, because this is Layers of Fears.
Mm-hmm.
Don't we have Layer of Fear and Layer of Fear 2?
Oh, I don't know.
I'm pretty sure those both exist. I've got to double check right now.
Go for it. So they're saying early 2023 for this. And it does seem to be kind of a play on Bloober Team's previous game with their Medium, which was the switching back and forth thing. They had like hints of it in the trailer of them, like, you seeing a duality of two worlds type thing.
Yeah, Layer of Fear was 2016. Layer of Fear 2 was 2018. Medium was 2020 for the Xbox release, and then this is 2022. So.
Oh, so it's their franchise then.
Yeah.
All right. Marvel's Midnight Suns, which should be October 7th.
Please actually show me something. And Hulk looked weird.
Okay, so there's a description on this recap thing I'm looking at. Marvel's Midnight Suns is a card-based strategy title, which I don't understand the whole concept, but I guess it's from the people who made XCOM, the XCOM reboots. They're the reboot. So yeah, I don't know. Card-based.
I just need to see it. I need to see actual gameplay, and Hulk looked weird.
Hulk did look weird.
I can't get over that.
I felt like the whole game, like Dewey kind of agreed with me, I believe too, but like the whole trailer looked like it was from the angle of a fighting game. Like it looked like it was a fighting game.
There were definitely a lot of moments where they were showing like he said, fighting intros.
Yeah.
And I was like, there's no way that's a fighting game. And if I'm wrong, then I'm wrong.
I don't think it is, but like
really
it's just
bold
weird
to make it a fighting game, I feel like.
Yeah.
But it would also make sense.
Who knows? One Piece Odyssey, which should be out this year at some point. It just says 2022. Yeah, I don't know. One Piece Odyssey. It's a game.
Yep.
I guess if you have free time, go watch the 1,000 episodes of the show. 1,020.
Oh, 20.
Yeah, I still have 1,010 to watch, but there's 1,020 episodes.
Gotcha.
So. Next up is Routine, which has an unknown release date. Sci-fi horror game, stealth hacking, that type of thing. A lot of horror games this time around.
There were a lot of horror games.
Stormgate beta in 2023.
Really, again, showed absolutely nothing.
Sci-fi RTS from some of the people from Activision Blizzard who made StarCraft, and I feel like they mentioned some other game, but StarCraft was the important.
They probably
one.
also mentioned Warcraft, but
maybe
their RTS, Legends is the wrong word. Their background is full RTS, so it's like, okay, RTS
veterans.
From people, people from RTS veterans, like that are known for making good ones. Like, let's see what they do. But at the same time, like, they didn't have anything to really show. They showed concept art, and I'm like, that's why.
Yeah, we live in weird times. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge coming out June 16th. I actually know a good amount of people who are looking forward to this.
I'm one of them.
There you go. Everyone then. Everyone's in it.
Because the second one in from the left is Teenage Mutant Turtles in Time.
Okay. The Callisto Protocol, which should be out December 2nd. That's from the same people who made the first Dead Space, Glenn Schofield. It's supposed to be a spiritual successor that is no longer inside the PUBG universe. It looks fantastic, I do have to say. Looks like Dead Space. I'm actually kind of looking forward to seeing or playing it or whatever, what I end up deciding to do, and then also seeing and playing the Dead Space remake, kind of putting them side by side and being like, what we got going on here? Like,
and they did bring him out.
Yep.
So,
everyone's favorite, The Last of Us Part 1. September 2nd, that'll be out. PC release date is unknown.
Game of the year.
Oh my god. Apparently it's going to be $70.
Yeah, it's a PS5 exclusive.
I don't know.
Do you think it gets nominated for Game of the Year? What terrible timeline do you want to live in, Matt? The right one or the wrong one? You can be wrong with me.
We're already in the wrong one right now.
Well, you can be wrong with me and say that it shouldn't be Game of the Year.
It absolutely should not be Game of the Year. It will get nominated for Game of the Year.
But the right/correct timeline, which is just the timeline that we will end up living in, is the one where it gets nominated and potentially wins.
Go fuck itself. Witchfire. Early access in 2022. Was this the one that was in development for like a decade? Was announced a decade ago?
I feel like there were a lot of those. I don't remember.
It's not good.
I couldn't remember if that was that one or if this was the one that said that they announced it at the Game Awards in 2015 or whatever.
Yeah. Apparently they didn't have anything. All right, so American Arcadia was another one.
Yes.
I don't know if I'm trying to rip through the list here. American Arcadia, Flashback 2.
Flashback 2 was the one that Jeff was really happy to have come back.
Yeah, and we were all just like, what is it?
And I was like, oh, it's just going to be like that Max and whatever one.
Yeah, some throwaway.
None of us give a shit.
Yep. Fort Solace. High Water, which was like an indie-ish. It was like a weird art style.
Yep. That's the one where...
You said, what was the game? The EA game. The EA indie game there.
Oh, I made the joke of Wind Waker, Legend of Zelda.
Oh, there was...
But Sea of Solitude is the one you're thinking of.
Yeah, that was it.
There's also... there's another game that does that exact thing. Funhouse played it. It was on either the Worst Games or it was a Steam Roulette game. Because I remember James and Bruce having the back-to-back of, you said this was just like Wind Waker, and Bruce does his stare off in the corner. He's like, no, well, who said that? James like, you said that, and he just...
Humankind, which was the...
Humankind DLC.
Yeah, okay.
Because that game's been out for a while, but they were adding in new factions and...
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Stuff.
Nightingale, which that was the one that Dewey was hyped about, which does look good, which was the Mistcraft one.
Yeah. That's the one where I think it would be really fun for us to do.
Yep. Saints Row.
Saints Row specifically, the boss creator.
Yep.
Which you can do now. You can go create your person. Because it's apparently the most in-depth creator they've ever had.
Soul Hackers 2. Star Rail. Street Fighter 6.
The Guile reveal.
Yep.
If you're into that thing. He does look American. So American.
Super People.
Yep.
We saw The Quarry. Warframe.
The Quarry trailer had too much going on.
I mean, that's kind of like...
Like, Until Dawn, there's a lot going... Like, all of their games, there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
But this one was like, I can't even figure out what is a bad guy and what isn't, and, like, what the story even is. It looks like it's 18 stories happening the entire time, and I'm going to need to watch somebody play it because we'll lose track otherwise. Again, Warframe, still kicking years later.
Yeah. Seems to be doing well. Warhammer 40K Darktide.
Yeah, the Vermintide modern version.
And then Zenless Zone Zero. Which I don't remember that one.
Triple Z. I remember it only because I joked that it was ZZZ. I believe that's the one that was the anime one. That just had like a bunch of references in it. I believe that was that one.
And then finally, that's it for the recap. But when listing off the remaining showcases expected in the coming days, as well as his future events, Gamescom opening night live in August and the Game Awards in December, Keighley announced that next year's Summer Games Fest would be both digital and in person, quote, to bring the gaming community together, end quote. The rumor / reference or whatever is that he plans on going head to head against E3.
Yeah, which is doubly funny because he's already doing it this year. There is a in-person Summer Games Fest this year.
Oh, did not know that.
I have seen industry people tweeting that they are at it, so I might have been industry only.
Which that would make sense. That would be a very, very smart move to do the digital one and then industry only,
Test
and then next year do full on.
Yeah, because it's only been industry people that I've seen there.
Yep. All right, and then we got the short stuff, and I'm going to rip through all this real quick. Jeff Grubb provided
round?
Yep, short round.
Dr. Jones.
Also what I call my penis.
All right, Brian Posehn.
Jeff Grubb provided some insight into Naughty Dog's Last of Us multiplayer spin-off, saying the project will not be a continuation of Factions and will indeed be, quote, very, very live servicey.
And he also said it's gotten bigger and bigger and bigger. It's
more ambitious.
It's as big as one of our single-player games, which I went, please God, no. And then followed that with, by the way, it won't be out anytime soon. Yeah. And I started cackling.
Yep. The Pokemon Company has revealed that all related software of its franchise has shipped over 440 million units.
It's a lot of units for anybody that's curious what a number means.
Yes.
You want to know what's going to be even funnier?
What's that?
Take a guess what the next thing they're scheduled to ship is.
Pokemon?
There's two things. Yeah. One of them is not a guess. One of them you know.
What's the new Violet?
Close, Scarlet. And so that one's up there.
What is it? Scarlet and Violet?
Scarlet and yeah, sure. Fuck it.
Whatever the two are.
It's Scarlet and probably Violet. That sounds right. It's definitely purple. The other one is one you're not going to guess. So I'm just going to tell you. Eventually, they're supposed to be sunsetting TCG, the trading card game. TCG Online.
Yeah.
Because they're supposed to be moving it to a thing called TCG Live.
Yeah.
Their fully revamped version.
Yeah.
Bringing it to like a modern card interface and not the ancient one they've been using for online forever.
Yeah.
That's just in delay currently.
Just in holding.
Like it's in beta in Canada, Mexico, and like Australia or something.
Yeah, that's going to be one of the ones where they just all of a sudden say, oh yeah, we're done, it's out.
Yeah, and when that hits, you're going to see a massive fly up again in Pokemon. Because if it actually runs on phones and tablets and everything the way that the old one did, but much better, it's going to be amazing. And then it also is running on PC, so like I'm just going to be playing Pokemon constantly.
Yeah. Early next year.
Because that was the other kick with God, I hope it's not early next year. It literally hit beta in February and it should have been out by now. When you buy Pokemon cards,
it'll be next summer probably.
God, it'd blow my brains out if that's the case.
I mean, they'll wait for the window to where like there's nothing.
That's their window now. You're gonna have to build hype because I feel like Scarlet and Violet are pushing to like a whole lot of like middling.
Yeah, but you're a pragmatic Nintendo / Pokemon person.
I don't know what that
That's
means.
a rarity. That means you'll look at the game objectively and be like, that doesn't look good.
Oh, okay.
Whereas most people would be like, fat.
I hope they don't say it when they do it.
What? Audio.
Oh yeah, no, I know why you had to do it, but there's just part of me that knows that half of them probably say it. The thing for me is that needs to happen. Like that would be a perfect late June, early July drop when Nintendo's kind of not doing anything. Just boom, here you go. But for as you don't know this, whenever you open a pack of Pokemon cards, one of the cards in there is a promo code to get a pack in the online trading card game.
Mm-hmm. For the new one or the old one?
The branding has switched to the new one, but it's been that way for both.
Okay.
Because there's a bunch of stuff you can transfer over. There's a bunch of stuff you can't as well, but whatever. But it's like you would double up again, releasing a new updated version of it, and that like you just watch another swell happen.
Yeah. They don't care. I mean, it's going to come at whenever they
I
do it
know,
anyway,
but
so.
like I'm annoyed.
Yeah. Speaking of annoying things, Diablo Immortal is the biggest launch in the history of the Diablo franchise, according to Activision Blizzard.
Did you do the math on how many people they've had download it?
No.
I think it's 10 million.
I think that's the number that I saw as well.
Yeah. And all the issues with it.
Yeah, not that it matters, but the user review score on Metacritic is like dumb low.
Yeah, it's also going to get review bombed though.
Yeah.
Because they're up, from my understanding, and I did not play. I played till about level 4, and then I uninstalled it because I was like, this just isn't. It's not me. When new Diablo comes around, I'll actually be down and play Diablo again. But like this just doesn't grab me. Maybe if I could actually get it on my phone, and I would. But it's very clearly, even playing on my PC, obviously it's a phone game. But I was just kind of like, yeah, I don't care. It's not. It didn't grab me. But apparently the microtransactions are so bad. So bad. Like the balance between free to play and microtransactions is so bad. And then the microtransactions themselves are shit. So you have everybody ripping them apart, which is going to cause Metacritic review bombs and stuff.
Yep. In 2023, the 65th Annual Grammy Awards will include the category to honor original scores created for or as a companion to a current video game or interactive media.
You know why I'm annoyed about that?
Why?
Because some of the best soundtracks we've ever had in games have already happened.
Yep. For sure. And
2018 Red Dead Redemption 2.
And it's the back end of that is the reason why they're adding it. Other interactive media. So like my assumption is that they were like, oh, we can get like, Netflix shit in here and stuff like that. Like any of their new stuff they do that's interactive.
Yeah. 2018 Red Dead Redemption. 2018 God of War.
Mm-hmm.
Cyberpunk had a good soundtrack. Like
Doom.
Doom and Doom Eternal. I can still tell you right now, if you ever need a hype up song and you need to like get going, the only thing they fear is you from Doom Eternal. Turn it on, give yourself about 5 seconds to get hype, and then go beat the hell out of whatever you're going to do. Surgery, beat the hell out of it. That test, beat the hell out of it. Baking a cake, bake the hell out of that cake. Rip and tear until it is done.
iOS 16 will support Joy-Cons and Switch Pro controllers. Saudi Arabia
Started laughing about that. I just found that really funny.
Yeah, it's random.
Because I was like, Switch Pro controller? Okay, all right.
It's just random. I don't know.
Joy-Cons? Okay, all right.
Someone who makes too much money at Apple was bored.
Yes,
obviously.
Yeah. What else can we do? I don't know. They're going to make us do the whole thing with a headphone jack. I'm not doing that. Joy-Cons?
Hell yeah, bro. Saudi Arabia has bought a $1 billion stake in Embracer Group, the equivalent of approximately 8.1% of the company's shares.
Which, think about that.
Yes,
That's silly.
$1 billion buys you less than 10% of a company.
Yeah. A company once upon a time, THQ Nordic.
Yeah. Nintendo will not be participating in this year's Gamescom. The ESA said in a new report that 48% of people who play games identify as female, and 29% of game players are people of color. Giant Bomb founding member Jeff Gerstmann has announced his departure from the company. Gerstmann announced his new venture, The Jeff Gerstmann Show, a podcast about video games, which he is supporting through a Patreon campaign. According to the Xbox Game Pass website, Starfield is expected in early 2023. Capcom will be holding a digital showcase on June 13th. And we got a rumor. God of War Ragnarok will release this November on PS5 and PS4, and the game's final release date will be announced this month.
I hope that's true.
I hope it's true. I do not believe it to be true. So,
it's definitely possible.
Yeah.
And it would be on time if that's the case. But there's a couple... If they're on time, man, would that be like painting a bad light on a bunch of other studios.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Ragnarok released on time. Why the fuck can't you? Would be a lot of people's perceptions. Incorrect, but it would be a lot of people's perceptions.
My assumption is based on like what we've heard from other, rumors, is that it's on the fence. Like it's
the old 50-50. It could or could not happen.
Yeah, like they're kind of like trying to figure out if they should delay it or not.
It was November, right? I could see a month delay. But I could see them being able to still keep it in 2022, but then being like, we need to push this a month to like fine-tune things.
Yeah.
At the same time, they're not going to rush that after how good they had the first one. You can't rush this anymore.
You might as well. I mean, literally everyone else is delaying their games.
But that's why it's very tempting.
I know, but like, it's...
I agree with you. That's the temptation. Where there is a hole that you can occupy, why not put yourself there?
Yes.
How do you kill that which has no life? Yeah, so I'd be excited because it'd be the thing I'm looking forward to now, and it's like cool. I have a date and time to like look at, but at the same time, I don't know. I don't know if I believe it. I don't believe it enough to pre-order it. I'll say that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we're gonna find out pretty soon, probably.
Yeah.
Whether it's coming out or getting delayed.
And who knows? Maybe I'll have something to be excited about after Sunday.
Yeah,
because Sunday is Microsoft X Bethesda.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's all. That's all we got for news, I believe. Anything you got for the last 7 days? What you been up to, doing, watching?
Not really, doing the normal thing. Watching the anime. Watched the first episode of The Boys. Current with Obi-Wan Kenobi. Done with Stranger Things as I was last week. Playing Lego Star Wars randomly.
So much to do in that game.
Yeah, it's dumb how much there is to do in that game. And we started Sniper Elite 5. So that's
true.
That's where I'm at.
Nice. Good.
How about you?
Started Sniper Elite 5 with you.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good time.
Yeah.
Playing on hard. It's
on hard, but I feel like it was like easy.
Did we both have that thought at the end? We're like, do we need to kick this to authentic and just like send it?
I thought about it, and I was just like, I was like, I don't know. Like,
I feel like we should next time be like, all right, that was easy. Let's kick it to authentic and just see what happens.
Yeah.
And so we might end up there.
Yeah. I mean, if we did that, then I don't know. I just don't know. I mean, I feel like the gap between hard and authentic is pretty sizable.
That's the thing, is that it might just be like too much.
Because like you immediately lose all of the empty lung benefits. Like you don't get the help with that, which would fuck me hard because I always forget to range my gun. So
yeah. It would immediately go, oh, there's a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, and then you're like basically one shot kill. Like,
but I mean,
you, like you get shot once you die.
Yeah. So there is some of that.
Yeah. So I don't know,
but I'm down for like giving it a run and just kind of seeing how bad it is.
I'm curious if like the first mission was like stupid easy.
That's the other thing too. Is like if we just go hard into number 2, does it stay do we find it to be the same? Because if we find it to be the same, then we can kick it on to 3rd and be like, all right, let's go up and just see what happens.
Yeah,
and then we can turn it back down or whatever.
Yeah.
Or I can get real crazy and throw in the customized shit, but we'll see.
Yeah.
The otherwise, I mean, it was pretty.
Yeah, it was good. It was reasonably smooth and
Ran well. Didn't glitch on us.
Yeah.
A lot of bullet times. Always a fan.
Yep. Definitely bullet times.
I don't know if it affects a multiplayer session, but when you load the game and it's like, how often, or you go through the settings, it's like, how often do you want bullet times? I have them all maxed.
Oh, really?
I was like, give me all of them.
I just kind of kept it at what the defaults were. So
I wanted to just always see it. That's why I was pulling, and I don't know if it's just frequent or I was just lucky to get them, but that's why I was pulling like well rod bullet times and SMG bullet times, I think, because I just have them turned all the way up.
Maybe. I don't know.
It is still
maybe
jarring,
like the next mission I'll turn mine off and we'll turn yours up all the way and we'll see what happens.
Oh, mine are already up all the way, so yeah, it'll be.
We'll see like if we'll just constantly getting your fucking bullet times the whole time. Like
it is.
I can't like do anything because it's constantly.
It is almost it is jarring that if you're not talking to each other and knowing that the other one's about to get into a gunfight or shoot something, and then all of a sudden your camera just is like, "Here's a bullet time." I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah, I don't know. It's crazy.
But yeah, so that's been good. Been playing some show, doing the baseball thing. Watched a baseball game with you.
Mm-hmm.
Absolute shithousery. It was great.
Yep.
Get wrecked, Mets.
They got wrecked. For reference, if you're ever in MBT Stadium in Syracuse, New York, for a night game, do not sit on the visitor dugout side for a night game. You will get blasted in the face with sun.
Yeah, that's true. That did happen. Partially blind.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a good game. Obviously, Yankees AAA team won, which is all we can ever ask for.
Mm-hmm.
As far as I'm concerned, sucks for your brother, but hey, listen, you chose what you chose.
Yep.
Stadium was nice. It was a good time.
Yeah.
Easy to get in and out.
Yep.
Wasn't,
Yeah, everything's pretty accessible. Bathrooms are clean.
Yeah, shocking.
Yeah.
Upstate New York sports.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good time. And then just, doing the WoW thing. Casual WoW player.
Yeah, for now.
Still back to the rating conversation we had, where trying to find potentially something for all of us to play again, or at least maybe not necessarily like a raid thing, but just all of us to kind of be able to get in and slap around with each other on.
Yeah. A raid would be nice, but it would have to be like a low barrier to entry type thing.
Right. So. Well, it'd have to be a low barrier to entry, and we don't have the same group of 6 to 10 people that we had consistently when we were doing that at any given moment.
Yeah.
Where it's like something like the Division would almost be perfect, where it was 4 people, and then we just pull a rando in and go do stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see. We'll figure something out at some point. Load up Guild Wars 1, maybe. Who knows?
I do have it installed on my computer.
Just start doing 55 runs because we're bored.
It did not age well. I will say that.
Oh, I could tell. I could tell it. I could have told you that in 2010. This isn't gonna look good.
I jumped in. And I was like, "This is not how I remember looking."
Rose tinted glasses. But anyway, we will see you guys in 7 days. Bye bye.